Hey everyone, Jonathan here, founder of Driving Academy, and in today's video we're going to be going through questions and answers that we give to some of our students on how to pass the Hazmat Endorsement. So if you want to be able to transport hazardous material, which means maybe you want to transport a truck like this that's going to be transporting fuel, or other vehicles that's going to be transporting hazardous material like maybe soap or hairspray or anything like that, you can make a lot of money doing it, but you're going to need this endorsement to get it done. In order to get this endorsement, pretty much two main steps that you have to go through. Step number one, pass the actual hazmat written exam to add that to your license. And step number two, go through a fingerprints and background check to make sure that you are safe and you're trustworthy enough to actually transport hazardous material. But that being said, you first got to pass the written test. So if you are interested in learning more, make sure you watch to the end of the video, because we're going to give you a bunch of questions and answers that are probably going to show up on your actual written test itself. So if you just study this, we'll kind of give you some explanation, you'll be ready to rock and roll. Next question is going to be, if the vehicle is required to display a hazmat placard, they must A, be on at least two sides, B, be on both sides of the vehicle, C, be on all four sides, or D, be only on the rear of the vehicle. The correct answer here is C. So a hazmat placard is going to be like one of those diamond looking things that are going to tell everybody around what you're actually transporting. So you want one on each side of the vehicle, so even the police or anybody knows, in case of emergency, knows what's inside that vehicle itself. Next question. A placard is used to A, communicate, B, contain, C, be on all four sides, or D, be only on the rear of the vehicle. The correct answer here is A, communicate. Like I said before, you want to make sure that in the case of emergency, or maybe you're dropping off and picking up, everyone knows what type of hazardous material you're transporting inside of your vehicle. All right, next question. Who must sign the certificate of shipping papers? A, the driver, B, the shipper, C, the carrier, and D, the co-signee. The correct answer here is going to be B, the shipper. Now, shipping papers has to be signed by the shipper. Pretty simple. The intention of the hazardous material regulations is to A, communicate the risk, B, contain the material, C, assure safe drivers and equipment, or D, all the above. And the correct answer here is D, all the above. It's meant to do all those things. Next question. Containment rules are designed to A, notify law enforcement in the event of a spill, B, keep the leak or spill as small as possible, C, create additional work for the company, or D, create additional work for the driver. Now, even though C and D might be correct, the real answer is going to be B, keeping the leak or spills to as small as possible. That's why it's called containment rules. Next question. Shippers' packing requirements are designed to A, contain, B, communicate, C, increase business for cardboard manufacturers, or D, none of the above. The correct answer here is going to be A, to contain. Anything, of course, is about containment, super important when it comes to hazardous material. Next question. To properly placard a vehicle, you must know A, materials hazard class, B, the amount being shipped, C, amount of all hazardous materials of all classes on the vehicle, or D, all the above. In this case, D, all the above. Next question. The driver may accept a leaky drum, A, if he isolates it away from other material on the vehicle, B, never, C, if he gets approval from his dispatcher, D, if he keeps a special notation on the shipping paper itself. The correct answer here is D. This goes to prove to you that you as a truck driver are fully responsible for what you're transporting. So your job can never be, hey, somebody else did it. If it's on your truck, you're the one that's responsible to see how that containment or how that container is actually doing. So if any leaky drum, anything that you don't want to actually take for you, make sure you put your foot down and you're like, hey, I can't do this. This is a safety hazard. Next question. Which of the following must be on the shipping papers in every hazmat shipment? A, whether collect prepaid, B, proper shipping name, hazard class, ID number, C, the weight, or D, both B and C. Correct answer here is going to be D, both B and C. Anything about prepayment stuff is not going to be on the hazmat shipping paper. Next question. If an X or RQ is found on the HM column of the shipping paper, what does it mean? A, Shipment is regulated by hazardous material regulations only if the quantity exceeds 1,000 pounds. B. Shipment is regulated by hazardous material regulations if being shipped by air or water. Or C. No shipper's certification is necessary. Or D. Shipment is regulated by hazardous material regulations. The correct answer here is going to be D. So if you see any of those letters on the HM column on your shipping paper, that means you must follow all the regulations by hazardous material, and you must have a hazardous material endorsement on your license. Next question, when hauling hazardous material, how often must you check your tires? A, every 4 hours or 200 miles, B, every hour, C, every 2 hours or 100 miles, or D, once a day. The correct answer here is going to be C, every 2 hours or 100 miles. Next question, when hauling a division of 1.1, 1.2, or 1.3 explosive, you may not park your vehicle within how many feet of the traveled portion of the public road? It's going to be A, 3 feet, B, 5 feet, C, 7 feet, or D, 10 feet. The correct answer here is going to be B, 5 feet. Next question. When hauling division 1.1, 1.2, or 1.3 explosives, you must not park your vehicle within how many feet of an open flame? A is going to be 100 feet, B, 300 feet, C, 500 feet, or D, 750 feet. The correct answer here is going to be B, 300 feet. Now these are just things you have to memorize. Next question. A cargo tank is A, a tank permanently attached to a vehicle, B, a tank which is not permanently attached to a vehicle, C, either attached or not attached, or D, none of the above. The correct answer here is going to be A. A cargo tank has to be permanently attached to a vehicle itself. Next question. Around which 3 hazard classes must you never smoke? A, poison, chlorine, or corrosive, B, poison, combustible, or non-flammable gas, C, explosives, oxidizers, or flammable, or D, all the above. So if you don't know anything about this, you're probably going to pick D, all the above, but the correct answer here is going to be C, anything that can actually explode with flame, right? So explosives, oxidizers, and flammables. You want to stay away from smoking. All right, next question. The hazard class of a 5-pound container is corrosive. If the description also says poison inhalation hazard, you must A, not placard the vehicle since it's only 5 pounds, B, attach a poison placard and a corrosive placard to it, C, attach poison placard only, D, attach dangerous poison placards. So the correct answer here is going to be B, attach a corrosive placard and a poison placard on it itself. Next question. The regulations required when transporting hazardous materials and approaching a set of railroad tracks, you must A, stop no closer than 10 or no further than 25 feet away, B, stop no closer than 15 and no further than 50 feet away, C, stop no closer than 25 feet or no further than 50 feet away, or D, stop no closer than 50 feet, no further than 100 feet away. The correct answer here is going to be B. You want to stop between 15 and 50 feet from the actual railroad tracks itself. All right, next question. You are transporting hazmat and you must stop at a truck stop for lunch. Upon leaving your vehicle, you must A, take the shipping papers with you, B, leave them on the driver's seat, C, leave them in the pouch on the driver's side door, or D, either B or C. The correct answer here is going to be B or C. Definitely don't want to take the shipping papers with you to lunch because if they get all dirty or whatever it is, you can't read them anymore. So make sure you're either leave them on the driver's seat or in the pouch on the driver's side door and you don't have to worry about it. All right, next question. While driving your vehicle with hazmats, you look in your mirrors and you see something is leaking from the cargo compartment. You should A, stop immediately if it's safe to do so, B, proceed to the nearest phone, C, proceed to the nearest safe haven, or D, proceed to the nearest truck stop with washing facilities. The correct answer here is A. If you see something leaking and it's nasty, make sure you stop immediately when safe to do so. All right, next question. If you're loading explosives and your vehicle is equipped with a cargo heater or air conditioner, you must A, remove it, B, sign a statement clarifying that you will not be used, C, disconnect the heater power source and drain heater fuel tanks, Or D, switch to air conditioning mode and keep the explosive products as cool as necessary. The correct answer here is going to be C. So pretty much what this means is if you're actually loading explosives onto what's called a reefer trailer, and the reefer trailer itself is going to be refrigerated or heated depending on the temperature control that you have, you're going to have to disconnect the heating power source and drain heater fuel tanks itself. Very unpractical thing to do, which most likely means if you're working for a company, you're most likely not going to be actually using a reefer trailer to load explosives onto it in case it's a big emergency. All right, next question. Which of the following hazard classes use a transport index? A, flammable, B, radioactive 2, C, explosive, or D, poison gas? The correct answer here is B, radioactive 2. Next question. A transport index tells A, the routes required when transporting radioactive materials, B, special handling instructions for cryogenic liquids, C, bracing instructions for shipping compressed gas in cylinders, or D, degree of control needed when transporting materials required, radioactive 11 and 111 labels. The correct answer here is going to be D. Our next question, which of the following shipping container descriptions is written in the correct order? So you can actually see it right over here. You got A, you got B, you got C, and you got D. The correct answer here is going to be C itself. So the order that you're going to want is going to be what you're transporting itself, right? After that is going to be what type of category of hazmat it's going to be. So in this case, flammable liquid. And then you're going to give it the code after. And that's the order that it should go in. All right, well, next question. You may not smoke or carry any lighted material when loading or unloading. A, flammables, B, explosives, or C, oxidizers, or D, all the above. Correct answer, all the above. All those three things do not do good with any type of smoke or sparks or anything like that. All right, next question. The total transport index of all packages in a single vehicle is A, 50, B, 500, C, 25, or D, 30. The correct answer here is going to be A, 50. All right, next question. When unloading compressed gas and using your engine to pump off the product, when should the engine be turned off? A, before unhooking delivery hoses. B, after unhooking delivery hoses. C, keep engine running only at the lower speed so it will cool down. D, either before or after unhooking delivery hoses, it doesn't make a difference. The correct answer here is going to be A, before unhooking delivery hoses. Next question. The regulations require that you not park a vehicle transporting hazardous material within how many feet of an open fire? A, 250 feet. B, 500 feet, C, 300 feet, or D, 1,000 feet. The correct answer here, 300 feet or the size of a football field. Next question. Certain loading and unloading restrictions apply when handling explosives. Which must you do before loading or unloading explosives? A, install a floor liner on a cargo floor. Liner must be made of stainless steel. B, check cargo hold interior for any sharp points, damaged sides or floorboards, any nails, bolts, or screws which may damage the cargo. C, wrap an explosive material in water-resistant tarp. D, separate explosive cargo away from any other cargo itself. The correct answer here is going to be B. You want to make sure you're inspecting the interior of whatever trailer in this case you're going to be transporting. Make sure there's nothing sharp, make sure nothing's going to poke a hole, make sure the floorboards are nice and level, and no screws or bolts are kind of poking out. This is going to be a good thing no matter what you're transporting, but the more dangerous the material, the more you should pay attention. All right, next question. The minimum rated fire extinguisher which must be carried on a vehicle transporting hazardous material is A, 10 BC, B, 10 ABC, C, 5 BC, or D, 20 BC. The correct answer here is going to be A, which is 10 BC. All right, next question. Shifting gears while crossing railroad tracks is permitted. A, when you have written instructions permitted to do so. B, never. C, only when you are transporting explosives. Or D, after you have stopped both ways and you are sure that the tracks are clear. The correct answer here is never. Now this is a rule that goes into play whether you're transporting hazardous material or whether you're not transporting hazardous material. You never want to shift crossing a railroad track itself. because worst case scenario, you miss a shifter, you come to a stop itself, and the train can come and boom. And we want to avoid all those booms out there. All right, next question. In the event of a hazardous material emergency, you should A, warn others of the danger, B, contact the appropriate authorities, C, prevent smoking and keep any open flames away, or D, all the above. The correct answer here is going to be D, all of the above. Next question. If you transport route controlled radioactive material, you must have received specialized training within the past A, 2 years, B, 12 months, C, 3 years, or D, 5 years. The correct answer here is A, 2 years. All right, next question. If you break down on the highway and you are transporting gasoline, flammable liquid, UN 1203, which of the following warning devices are you permitted to use? A, fuses, B, flares, C, reflective triangles, or D, smudge pots. The correct answer here is going to be C. Now, no matter whether you're transporting hazardous material or any other vehicle itself, you should always have at least 3 reflective triangles, and that is going to be the best warning device that you can actually put out there. All right, next question. If you're transporting Division 1.2 or 1.3 explosives, how close to a bridge, tunnel, or building can you actually park? Is it going to be A, 100 feet, B, 200 feet, C, 500 feet, or D, 300 feet? The correct answer here, again for my football fans, 300 feet, 1 football field away. And the next question, when transporting Division 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 explosives, the driver is required to have a written route plan. A, true, or B, false? The correct answer here is A, true. So anytime you're transporting explosives itself, the government wants to be able to see exactly where that stuff is going, so you can't just kind of go through any kind of back roads and start scaring a bunch of people in worst case scenario. All right, next question. If your vehicle is hauling hazardous material and you've broken down along the highway, you may leave your vehicle briefly if you can get someone else to watch it. What are the requirements of the person watching the vehicle in this case? A, they must be on the vehicle or within 100 feet of clear view of the vehicle itself. B, must be awake and be able to move it if necessary. Or C, must know what to do in an emergency. Or D, all the above. The correct answer here is D, all the above. So if you have to leave your vehicle for whatever reason, because you got to go get a tire or something like that, another CDL holder has to be there to be in the vehicle or be able to watch the vehicle and be able to move it in case of an emergency itself. All right, next question. If you're transporting Division 1.1, 1.2, or 1.3 explosives, your carrier must A, provide you with an air-conditioned truck, B, provide you with an additional life insurance policy, C, provide you with a copy of the FMCSR Part 397, or D, provide you with a consignee phone number. The correct answer here is C, provide you with the FMCSR Part 397. All those other things would be pretty cool, air conditioning, additional life insurance, but that is not required itself. All right, next question. When Placard vehicles is being refueled, the regulation states, A, the driver must be holding a fire extinguisher ready to use. B, someone must be at the nozzle controlling the flow of the fuel. C, someone must be helping the driver in case of fire eruptions. Or D, vehicle must be 300 feet away from the building or place where people gather. The correct answer here is going to be B, which means you can't just refuel and kind of set your nozzle going on auto and kind of walk away. You have to be there to actually control it and stop it in case of emergency. All right, next question. While driving a vehicle with hazardous material requiring placards, you discover a tire is leaking. You should A, stop as soon as you reach a safe place and repair it. B, stop immediately and call for road service. C, drive to the nearest phone and call somebody. Or D, proceed to your destination. The correct answer here is going to be A, stop when you reach a safe place and try to repair it itself. All right, next question. Foodstuff should not be carried in the same vehicle as A, flammable gas, B, corrosives, C, poisons, or D, oxidizers. The correct answer here is going to be poisons. So we never want to mix food and poisons. Ideally, you don't want to mix food with any type of hazardous material, but at all costs, do not mix food with poisons. All right, next question. Who must certify that the shipment has been prepared according to hazardous material regulations? A, the driver, B, the carrier, C, the consignee, or D, the shipper? Correct answer here is going to be D, the shipper, since they're the one actually shipping the product. Our next question. Cargo tanks have the same placarding requirements as any type of vehicle transporting hazardous material. A, true, or B, false? The correct answer here is going to be B, false. Since it's not 100% exactly the same, it's going to be B, false. All right, next question. Package labels on hazmat packages must be the same as the shipping papers. A, true, or B, false? The correct answer here is A, true. Of course, whatever is the actual materials and the placards on the actual hazmat packages, like the boxes, should match what's on your shipping papers. Next question. Division 1.1 and 1.2 explosives must not be transported in a combination vehicle if it includes A, 2 or more trailers, B, a 200-inch wheelbase trailer, C, a placarded cargo tank, or D, a vehicle carrying foodstuff. The correct answer here is going to be C. You cannot carry explosives in a cargo tank. Alright, so if you got it right, congratulations. If you got it wrong, give us a call. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. If you want to get your CDL license, you know where to go. Check out our website, cdlacademy.com, right over there. And if you like this video, you'll definitely like this video right over here. So make sure you check that out. But before anything else, make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you soon.